Silence, quiet voices whisper what I'll never win. They carry no names, yet I know their face. Follow every motion, I can't escape this place. I try to lock them deep inside, but doors will break that never died. The more I fight, the clearer it will be. The darkness always belongs to me. Trapped in the shadow of me. No escape, stay here with me. No heroes, no foes, only.
Yo. Is it live? Yep. You see me? Yep. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the aviation racing show, and it must be another week because we are live streaming again. That's right. So I'm Richard, and this is Harry, and this is our show. And at the moment, we are live streaming, and it's all about the series that is the RC Eagle, which is a 3D printed plane designed, not our particular aircraft, not this particular one. We didn't design this one. Many others we've designed, not this particular one. We just thought we'd use something that somebody else's great creation. So yeah, we're carrying on with that one. Quite interesting, so we thought we'd make it. That's right, and it was also a request from some of the chat on live stream. Yeah. Okay. So welcome everyone, and I guess we'll sign on, and then we'll jump into the episode. Is that the plan? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go! Agile racing. Yeah. So, like what you were saying before, welcome in, and yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be good. This is the second part of this live stream series. That's right. So remember, it's a very informal chat, the way we like to do it. Remember to join in, chat as much as you like, and we'll try and respond as best we can, and we'll see how we go. Because in this one, we're constructing the wings in this one. Yes, we're working on the wings. So we did I think it was the right-hand wing on the previous episode, and now we're going to prepare the left-hand wing, and we're going to go from there and see how we get on. Okay, so I'll see you in the next slide, and let's get into it. Yeah, should we go? Okay, so here we are, another week. And it is a good one. So yeah, lots of things to be happy about with this one. This is what we're going to be doing very shortly, and this is effectively what the live stream is going to be about. Going to be constructing this guy here. So obviously, looks like an eagle. Will be an eagle in the end. It will be a flying one, and of course, it will have propulsion. So it has some motors and ESCs are attached to it. So our good sponsors Hobbywing have come on board, and we've got some, what are these? These are the 2320 Skywalker motors, or 11,000 kV, and we have a 50 amp V2 Skywalker ESCs. That's what we're going to be using for this particular aircraft. Obviously it's got servos and all that kind of stuff, and I think it's running, is it a 3S LiPo? I think we might be running a 3S LiPo from memory. And yeah, so that's what's going to be happening on the episode very shortly. But first, we're going to dive into what was the episode this week. Yeah, so this week came out on Tuesday, so not that many days ago, is it? No. So there you go. So it's quite a big turnover on the channel, and it's tricky for us to keep up to date on what we're doing at the moment in time. Which day? Yeah. Yes, it's pretty busy. So we were working on the. We were working on the drone pack, or AKA the jet pack. We got lots of comments. It was great, and looking forward to getting into it on the next episode. We will be finalizing the frame structure, and that's probably what we'll be doing. And starting to maybe work on the electronics. That's right. So we're going to dive into it. Just spend a couple of minutes before we jump into the actual this particular live stream. We're just going to dive in a couple of minutes just on just having a little look at the episode that was the one that came out on Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to change slides. I'm going to jump into that one. All right, so I think we want... Yeah, okay. So there we go. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of an interesting shape. Don't you think, Richard? It's kind of that cyberpunk shape, which is what we wanted for the overall design. It's just a mock-up version at this moment in time, but they are the real. What's that?
Just sit closer to there.
Yes, this will be. Those are real VTOL motors and real propellers. They are 26-inch, I think.
Yeah, I mean, based on some of the designs that we've done so far, it actually seems somewhat small propellers. Yes. We've done it all the way up to 32.
Yeah, but 26 is enough for the same kind of lifting force because these are VTOL motors, different to drone motors in the fact that they can do other things.
That's right. You can also program them if you'd like, or you can get T, because they're T-motor motors.
T motor motors.
VTOL motors, and they can, in a normal VTOL motor, setup, as it were, what you'd normally do is you take off in a vertical form.
And then just shut them off.
And then what you do is you want, say for example, it's a plane, right? So you got the wings, and you take off in a vertical form, right? Then you turn the motors off, and then you have the pushing one, so like a 4-in-1 is what we're sort of talking about.
Okay.
And then what what you do is you program where you want the propellers to stop, and they will stay, like say for example, along the wing.
Yeah, that way
it'll reduce the aerodynamics, and it doesn't just go whoosh, 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 and then slow your aircraft down. So that's the idea of the VTOL motor. That's exactly what they're going for with this one when they designed it. So yeah, it's quite good for us in particular for this design. So this is what we're designing is the Mark 1 version of this aircraft. Yeah. So stick around for that. Very exciting. And of course, but why? So Robert's joined us. Thanks very much, dude. Why are you gonna do the decapitate? Well, hopefully not.
hopefully not. I
hey
like
guys,
my head.
hey Happy. Thanks for joining in, everyone.
I like having my head attached.
Yeah.
But so, don't worry. This is just this is just the pre stuff before the boring safety stuff that needs to be added. But it's not that important. I don't think aesthetically, just yet.
Yeah.
But
that
will be there. It's just it kind of distracts from how cool it is, I think.
Yeah. Also, yeah. But yes, you don't want your head taken off because you can't live very well after.
No, you can't live so good. No.
But it does look quite cool. It was the design may change
a little bit.
Maybe change, like you're saying, change the height of the propellers and stuff like that. But that's kind of something more like a design development, as I'd say back in the world of when we used to do graphics and that kind of thing, right? You want aesthetically to look right, and then you have to go back in and basically
just make it more
health
functional.
And safety have to come in at some point, right?
Yeah. But technically, aesthetically, I think it looks pretty cool. What do you guys reckon anyway? What do you guys reckon? Do you think it looks pretty cool?
And thanks very much for joining in TN Tapestry. There we go.
Yeah. So thanks so much for tuning in to the stream. And yeah, we're just having a little.
Turn that light on as well.
Which one?
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a little overview. You're going to jump into the episode very shortly. But yes, there we go. So that's what was the episode. Robert says
we could even bring it over if you want.
We can try.
We can try to fit it in the.
Your backpack should incorporate some kind of a seat. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Seat. That's an
interesting.
That kind of gives me an idea for a different. You mean a seat for somebody else to sit on? As well as
like a two-man one.
Yeah.
I hope you just print a full-size Harry and fly it that way. And if we did there, it would probably visit. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. So it's the Mark 1 design.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're sort of aiming at. So you want to be, as they say, within the rules. Everybody's happy and safe, and of course, in that way you can bring in what should we call our buster in terms of not Ghostbusters. Mythbusters.
Hey Johnny, thanks for tuning in. Anyway, carry on with you.
Mythbusters, they had what do they call him? Buster. He was like a stunt double.
Yeah, we're thinking maybe HR or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but we would need a name. We'll need a name for him.
Yes, it would hang awkwardly in the back, and I would imagine we'd have to do not just a backpack because otherwise you're lifting vertically. So it's going to have to be at least a 5-point harness or something like that from like a rally car, at least minimum, or a ejecto-cedo kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, you wouldn't hang on too much. It'd just go.
Not a two-man of the people who are operating here. Fair enough. It would be cool though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the idea of like jetpacks and stuff, like we explained on the episode, has always been like we're kind of thinking like, what's the smallest ultralight that we can make?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So yeah,
like a single man like jetpack seemed to be
along our lines at this moment in time.
Yeah. It may change later on, or we might go to different designs, but it would be cool to do it for real one day.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's
Obviously,
the
you're
plan.
going to do some licenses and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to start somewhere, so we thought we'd start at the beginning.
Yeah,
like most things. Like, for example, when we used to do roll hockey, or still do, when we started with roll hockey, you couldn't start with the iconic Mission blades. You know,
the best of the best.
The best of the best. You have to start with what we call the Sirocco's, which is the brand at the time. So you start with the little Sirocco's, and then when you outgrow them, you get better, you get better, you get better, and then suddenly into the Mission top quality pro level skates. So that's kind of like where we're starting.
Yeah. But I think it's a good start. Robert says twin busters, so you could do 2 different myths.
Whoa,
that's a cool idea.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, definitely.
With a pencil.
I'll
get a pencil.
Yeah. Great ideas there, brother. Happy says, does your mother know you are doing this project? We would never tell her. You can keep a secret, right? Yes, no, it's a cool one. I'm quite looking forward to seeing this one in the air. It's going to be quite iconic. Yeah, what do you reckon, Richard? Yeah. Oh, well, we can bring it in a second. I think I can fit it in the room.
Okay, so I'll jump off that side. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it was last week we were printing like mad on that one to get that ready. And this week we are flat out working on your next one. So
should we give them an insight about what it might be? The next episode.
Next episode? Or we could give you a hint.
We'll
maybe later on in the episode. Maybe yeah. But we'll give you a hint later on.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll give you a hint. 10 minutes out, and then we'll. Yeah. Yeah. We'll give you,
okay. We'll tell you
before the hint. Yeah. We'll give you a warning, and then I'll put the timer on. It seems like a good idea. Why not make it exciting? Yes.
What we'll call it natural selection. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Mum.
Thanks,
As
Mum.
Rove used to say on Rove Live,
which used to be a TV show.
It was kind of like kind of more like a sort of a chat show, like kind of like like Craig Ferguson, something like that, late show.
Oh yeah.
And it's just in Australia. It's quite popular at the time. And he used to say, what was his line? Something like
Say hi to mum.
Say hi to your mum for me. There we go. So
that was his slogan, his catchphrase.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have a catchphrase.
But I guess what do we have? What's our catchphrase?
Got to give a tease in the middle, some place that
ties people to listen in. Yeah, okay, that's a good.
You got to think like a show, right? Like a real show.
Yeah, like a show.
Professional show.
Like a profish.
But if you've noticed, we've actually done a little update with the show as well this week.
Yes, see if you can find out what it is in the background. Yeah. Something for you. What do they call that? Like an Easter egg. Yes. So if you're watching the stream, just keep an eye on what's going on. You might better notice that we've upgraded something. Yeah. And a UV, would you say UV Crush? Cush. Oh, thanks very much for joining us. I saw your comments. Nice one. Keep
your face out of the props.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Absolutely. 100%. That won't be an issue when it's all said and done.
Lightning. Yes. What do they say?
Catchphrase, keep your faces out of this. Oh, that is the cat. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice.
Yeah.
Lightning. Yes. Okay.
Well, they always say like lightning, thunder.
Thunder and lightning. No. Apparently, this maybe like an hour ago, there was some thunder over the top.
Lightning. So it went boom, boom. So you know it was pretty close. There's the LEDs on the bench.
Is it? No. But keep. No, that was that was a couple of months ago.
And we got that from, was it Auckland? On a trip to Auckland.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But we will
keep the guesses coming.
Keep the guesses coming. Good. We'll bring the jet pack in, the drone pack, sorry, and we'll show you that, and then we can jump into this guy. I'll show you actually what we're doing on this episode. We are working on this guy. This is the.
It's a plane print, isn't it?
That's the head of them.
There's
the motor.
Yeah.
So the motor comes on.
Yeah.
Hello, Richard.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so lightning. Should we go and we'll go and see if we can haul them in?
Yeah, I'll just move my chair out of the way, and then
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We'll just go to the other room for a second. Grab that.
Bear with 1 second.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
All good?
I am okay. Yep. Yeah, it's looking good.
Sounds like.
Have we ever been in this part of the room? Yes, I think we have.
Yes.
Yep. A little bit higher. Yep. To the left. Yep. That's cool. It's like an obstacle course out here, guys.
As you can tell, it sounds quite large. So we're like trying to avoid the walls and stuff. Okay, so here it
comes. We're coming into frame now. Here we come.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so there you go.
There you
go. Maybe put it down, and then
how are we going to put it?
Over here.
Put it? Over here?
Yeah.
We can just turn the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
So
we could just put it on.
Put it on. You can put it on. Lightning causes thunder. Always comes after lightning. Ceiling lights. No, the ceiling lights are the same. Not lighting, but lightning. Not lightning, but lightning. Yes, not lightning, but lightning. Nice. Hang on, I'll just turn the camera a little bit so you can see the jetpack, the drone pack. Sorry.
Well, as it is at this point.
At this
juncture, as you say.
Do you want me to put it on? You want to put it on?
Yeah.
Hey.
I got it.
Hey. Is that on my arm?
Yep. Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Okay, there you go, guys. There you go. So it's on. Hang on, can I turn? We good?
Sort of.
Can I turn to there?
Yeah, you can do it.
I can turn there.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at.
And UAV Kai says make it into Inspector Gadget. Oh yeah, from his head, wasn't it? It was like a...
Yeah, and you grab 2 handlebars, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Inspector Gadget. Jeez, we're going back a bit. No, but it was a cool show back in the day for Shell.
Yeah, it was.
And we used to watch that all the time, as well as Batman. Batman, he's got all the gadgets, right? But yeah, I'll turn around. Hang on, so you can see the back. Hang on, we're turning around.
You can try. You have to go forward and
forward a bit.
Yeah.
What about now? Can I turn?
Yeah, you sort of are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Can they see that?
Yeah, I guess so.
There you go. So it's not the final material that this will be made out of.
But we did want to incorporate, because we were trying to go for the cyberpunk feel, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't want to incorporate the pack, and of course that's where all the things like flight controllers, etc. is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be up there hard mounted, and of course all the structure that is only what do you call like a what do we call like a blueprint version. It's not obviously the final material. Nobody would take off with conduit piping. That's just mental. You wouldn't do that. So yes, they'll be all done. I'm not sure what material we should use.
Add your suggestions below. Yeah.
Any suggestions, add them in. And obviously maybe the structure might change, like you're saying. Obviously the propellers are in line with the person's head, but at the same time you kind of want it aesthetically cool. But of course you also want that
but if you
no decappuccino, as they say.
But if you put it above your head, then the aesthetics is kind of ruined.
So it's that balance between. You can take it off.
I can take it off?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
It's
that balance, right?
Yeah, I want that kind of iconic look.
But you want it like something new to feel new, but you don't want it to
kill you. No, you want that.
No.
Yeah, so there you go.
But like we're saying, it's only the Mark 1 version, and it may change significantly before it's all ready to go.
All said and done. And
seat in the UV. That's why I recommended the seat. Yeah, that's right.
Could be honest. I'm not digging this idea since well. Fair enough. Hey, that's all good. It's not everybody's thing. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
But it is an idea. Yeah. Because your back is acting like a pivot point. You need more supports to keep it straight to your back. Oh yeah. Happy says everyone's so worried about you guys getting. No, that won't be an issue. It'll be fine. Robert says that's why I recommend the seat in this UAV. The seat, putting it like sit in it is what you mean.
Yeah.
That's kind of like another idea, though, isn't it? If you're sitting in it, then it's kind of like a car kind of thing.
Like a cart or something. Because then I like say something like Jetson 1. That's kind of like a cart, right? They've got coaxial aircraft around them.
UAV says, I'm getting chills. How close the face is to the prop. It's supposed to be named the Flying Guillotine right now. You could flip the upside down and stand on as a pusher. I think what you're referring to is something similar to, is it called Sky Hunter? I'm not quite sure.
I think it's Hunter or something. He sort of stands on like a skateboard, right?
But the downside to that is he, which he's very successful, cool idea. The downside to that is I think he's in binding.
I think he's strapped in like a like a snowboard, right?
Yeah,
so it's not like he's on like a wake skate or something, or skateboard where you could hop off.
Yeah. I guess he risks it all as well. I guess if he gets it wrong, he gets completely chopped up as well. doesn't it? Because it goes through like a mincer, right?
But also, I mean, I guess ultimately
it's cool.
you don't need to fly that high, right?
No, it's true.
I remember we're watching an episode. I can't remember whether it was Mythbusters or Scrap Heap Challenge, and they were doing like a flight thing. As if you leave the ground by an inch or like a meter, it's still flight, right?
Well, even 10 centimeters. Check it.
Yeah, but of course if you get hit by the prop, no, it's not so good.
They weigh. It looks like I'm perfect for Inspector Gadget's helicopter. Pull it up in a picture.
Inspector. Okay.
Inspector Gadget.
Well, maybe we'll move this out of the way here.
Can't hop off, just chop off. You're talking about the
bindings.
The bindings. Yeah, because it was an interesting design. But the downside is that sometimes when you watch him doing it, it kind of counterweights on him.
Yeah, and also on his ankles, right? Because he'd be naturally trying to compensate, which the flight controller
would not like. But it's very cool what he's doing.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's cool that someone's trying it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way, and then we can start working on this one. But we'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
And we can bring up that Inspector Gadget. Oh, hang on, my hand's in the wrong place.
Okay. Off we go.
Inspector Gadget's helicopter.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's quite large, obviously. I'll read that in a second. We'll just move this out of there and we'll be right back.
Mind that. You're good? Yeah, I'm okay.
So, right.
But yes, safety will be at 1,000% when it's all ready.
And
nobody
obviously
wants to get hurt for sure.
And obviously you got to keep within the rules.
Yes.
But you got to start somewhere. So that's what we thought we'd start with.
All right, coming back.
Okay, we're back in frame.
Okay, guys, let's just read out some of those comments. And
he's talking about the U.S. Army one prop pusher, Hitler model 103A1
flying platform. Oh yes, okay. I know the one you're talking about. So I'll bring it up on the screen anyway.
You can't get a prosthetic head. Fair enough. Is that like a Bionicle Man? Is it? Will that Will that be with an umbrella handle and doing some jumps into water, lake or ocean, or doing a recreation of an opening or cartoon show in real life? Yeah, that'd be cool. Like you're talking about like
his helicopter hat. I think it's a helicopter hat.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Okay. So
classic. Hang on, and I'll bring the other one. What was the other one called? Which particular model?
It is called the.
I think I know which one.
The Hitler model, HILLER model.
Yeah.
1031A1.
Good name.
Just flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to change the slide so you guys can see.
Hang on, bring up and speak. Hang on. What's he doing?
You good?
Just a second. Yeah, I think I know it. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just jump over to the slide so you guys can see what's. There we go. So that's the what we're talking about with the old classic Inspector Gadget. So he's got effectively a helicopter strapped to his head.
Yes,
which is.
But then technically from this one, it's not coaxial design, is it? So technically he would rotate.
He would rotate because there's no anything stopping the yaw. So he would have to have another blade at least minimum on the top.
Or if he was like a helicopter, you could have it up the back.
I think a more practical one would be the Mars one here, where they land on
Mars. Which was going.
Javi says, when my grandpa saw me riding a motorcycle, he would say, you can get by with a wooden leg, but not a wooden head. Yeah, fair enough. He's a smart man.
What do you call it?
We can jump to the other one, the Model A1.
Oh yeah, so this is the Hiller model. It kind of looks like
so that's the kind of thing that was sort of appeared in Metal Gear Solid 3, I think. Sort of do a cameo. Yeah.
I'll just bring it up for you. There you go.
Yeah, the old jump into the umbrella. Yeah. Everybody does, right? Hold on to like a couple of umbrellas and jump.
Yeah, I mean, our uncle did that. He did 3 umbrellas? 3 or 4 umbrellas, 2 on each hand, I think.
Yeah.
He jumped off something at home. He lived, so there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool stuff. But yeah,
it's good. It's basically a helicopter, isn't it?
Yeah, I have seen a picture of a guy with like something back in. I remember someone sending me a picture. It looks like a giant EDF. Yes, it does. Mary Poppins. Yeah, I was trying to think of that. Yeah, Mary Poppins umbrella. Yeah. But of course, her one goes upwards.
What was the one that you were talking about? The coax one?
The one from Mars. It's got a coaxial.
Mars helicopter.
Mars helicopter coaxial. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a coaxial design, right?
Yeah.
Why is this thing so slow today?
Yeah, there we go. Let's go straight into images.
Ingenuity helicopter. There we go.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Design.
But of course, the gravity is a bit different in Mars.
It's very cool design.
So yes, that's going on the Inspector Gadget theme with a more sort of realistic approach, because you'd want to counteract that yaw rotation. But yeah, obviously it's theoretically possible.
Very cool.
He said, "Who uses Edge? Why not Chrome?" It's just what happened with the it's just how they just as they say, just let it be, all right?
If it ain't break, don't break.
If it ain't broke, just let it alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Why not use Chrome? Yeah, well, we do on other computers, but not this one. All right. Harry Poppins. Oh, there you go, Great name.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I think that's we'll leave that now there for now. Obviously, you can join in about that, add your comments and stuff,
suggestions and all sorts, which is always welcome. Yes.
But of course, that one did generate quite a lot of comments, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It's controversial, is what they say.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a general feel.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah. Oh well. Cool.
Cool.
Not everybody's going to be PC.
No, exactly. But it would be cool to see it in the air. Nonetheless, I always like to see things fly in the end of it.
Make an inverted 4-sided pyramid attached with an X-frame with the end being attached to an umbrella handle. Technically you could do what they call an omni drone,
omnicopter,
which is really weird. Really weird.
3-sided, 4-sided.
How many blades does an omni hit?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He reckons he's invested in your idea. Oh, cheers.
Oh, thanks. Cheers. It's an idea,
Some ideas are good. It's a development.
The development of an idea.
The end result might be like more something like the Jetson way. You might be sitting down by the final.
But I think that's kind of more of a different project.
Oh, you just do another one. That's a different
project.
Different project. It's cool nonetheless.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, they only kind of just came out, right?
Yeah.
There's so many. Yeah, it was like Christmas time Jetson. Not the Jetsons. That was out a long time ago. Not the original Jetsons.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just watermelon. It kind of reminds me of, have you ever seen the movie Blades of Glory? He does that when he's testing a new trick and he's doing like a corkscrew kind of...
what's it called?
Oh, I can't remember.
It's got a famous name. What is it, guys? The Blades of Glory.
He does like
the famous quote.
Yeah, it does a particular spin trick, and he always keeps cutting the head off. He puts a watermelon as the guy's head, and he keeps cutting it off.
Yeah. Does anybody know? Leave the comment below.
Yeah. There you go.
What's the quote? I'm sure there's a particular name for that particular Piers.
I can't remember. Yeah, but anyway, hopefully you guys are all having a great week this week. We appreciate you all once again for tuning in. If you haven't done already, make sure you give your thumbs up, and if you haven't done, subscribe. Is that all the T's and C's? Yeah, it keeps everybody happy.
Yeah. And how many props does it take to cut off my head? I don't know. I mean, you're going a different way there, but yeah. I mean, it's a controversial title, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess if that was the case, you probably wouldn't be making the video.
You wouldn't have edited the video. No. Wouldn't have got to editing stage.
I mean, you might have attempted it, but yeah. Okay, so back to the world of making this guy, right?
Yep. Okay, but yeah, keep the thoughts coming in for sure.
Okay.
So where do we get to on this one again?
It's in that box, right? That's all the good stuff. So this is the box to clear up.
That's what we're working on.
And like we were saying in the last stream, we don't have a big enough table, so tough.
we'll have to just make it across 2 tables because 2 is better than 1, right?
Seems to be the general.
Seems to be the
general theme for this particular shade, isn't it?
Seems to be. What do you reckon? Closer? Or should I bring that other camera in?
Hey?
Are you going to put it here or are you going
to... Yeah.
We can bring another camera in from the side, get a kind of like a dual cut screen.
Yeah, I guess you can.
I always like dual cut screen. Co-op, right? Co-op.
This is...
What's up?
He says, I'm going to say that we're all thinking that the thing scares the something out of it. The Jesus.
Yes. Well, it'll be all good. It'll be all good, mate. It'll be all good.
Should be right, man.
Should be right, man.
Yeah.
But safety will be at 1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't tell us what the new object in the studio was. That's right. We didn't tell you.
You'll find out.
You'll find out. All will be revealed. It's not so much, I guess it's an object. More like a functional thing, just to help out the stream. That was the little hint, by the way.
What do you want?
You could have just left it on there and then moved that around.
Oh,
that's how I did on the last one.
Oh, is that what you did?
Anyway, so so stay tuned to see if you can. You might be able to spot it. Anyway, okay, so this is where we were while Harry's doing that. In the last part, so we had all these parts sanded and prepped. So we had parts like the feathers. And watching Two Brothers is like having me, myself, and I in the same place. It's a good film, that one. Jim Carrey's in it. And I, the viewer, me, myself, H&R in the screen, and myself and I. Oh, there you go. Kind of like Inception versus Jim Carrey.
Alfie says, is it a new table? Which one? The
this
table
one.
We're sitting on? This one? We're not sitting at a table, we're sitting at a seat. No, this one is not a new table.
Functional table.
It's a functional table. It's been in the family. Been looked at. No, it's just a table. It's just a foldable table.
I guess he's thinking it is the table.
Oh, right, okay. Good shot.
Where does that go? Like that? No,
not really. I got the booklet here. It comes with a PDF if you're interested, and then it comes with a bit of insight. When we printed it, we didn't print it quite the perfect way, but it was just the way that the printer wanted to do its job, so we just
ran with it.
We just ran with it, so that way we'll have to go back a little bit to make the adjustments and then go forward. So a bit of a downside, but you know, there you go, put our own spin on it. So that way you can make it that much better in the end.
Yeah.
All right, let's bit of angles, change that. Hang on. Robert says the object you guys cleaned up on the bench is in the back. The object you guys cleaned? Which one? Is an object in the back?
Is a bench. Maybe.
No, it's not that one. Which one is a split screen one?
Looks like more organized. Is it? Okay. Well, thank you. It's good to look presentable.
Do you want to go vertical or do you want to go horizontal?
Okay.
What do you guys want? Vertical, a bit of vert, or do you want to go horizontal ramp?
So as they say in, like you meant to say as a host, you meant to say thank you very much for joining in on the stream.
Oh yes.
This is all about the RC Eagle. If you just joined us in, and we're continuing on with the feed, in the live stream. So we're streaming on TikTok, and we're streaming on YouTube. So yeah, welcome to join in on both platforms.
There you go.
It does look more organized.
Thanks.
Well, it's good. Maybe we just, like to keep a clean shop, as they say. Right? Grandad always used to say, it's always good to put away your equipment. Don't just leave it in the rain to get wrecked.
There you go. It does last a lot longer.
Yeah.
Good motto.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Can you see that? I think they can.
Yeah. Are you a person that leaves out all your tools, or are you a person that likes to clean up afterwards?
Yeah. We always try to be the second one as best as we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There's a bit of split screen action happening.
I feel I have to lean in a bit.
No, I have to do. I think maybe we have to go horizontal.
That's fine. Just leave it.
We'll be.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Okay, so these are the parts that we've been making for the previous live stream, and they're all sanded. And of course, we're going to have to jump into the other side, which is, of course,
where it's at.
Where it's at. So effectively one down, one to go. And then we're going to do the fuselage, right? This is just the prep work. If we want to be able to finish this Eagle.
Cool.
One day to be flying, hopefully.
That's the plan, and we'll be doing that on live stream. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move these ones out of the way, bring the next ones up, and we'll start.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
We'll put these ones in here, otherwise, because they're not labeled, so that would be embarrassing.
What to get?
To try and line them back up again.
Ah. Okay, so these so that was kind of like what they do on cooking shows, right? Quite a lot. They do the before and after, but they put it in the oven and then they take out the cake. They go before and after. Here's one I prepared earlier. So yeah, this is not prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do now.
Happy says, I think it's getting a lot more hotter now. He says that we guess the lighting in the background, the table, the organization. Maybe it's a better camera, so everything looks way better. I think you're right there, Happy. So nice spotting.
Good spotting.
And
full marks.
Full marks, 100% in the class. Yes. There's been a slight upgrade, and that way we give you better quality, and that's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are spot on.
Double thumbs up. Hang on. There, in this camera. Yeah, nice work. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so hopefully you can see us, hear us, and enjoy. See us twice. Just like dodgeball.
What, okay. 5 rules of dodgeball: dive, duck, dodge, and
dodge.
Dive.
Yes. Okay, so we need side cutters. What else do we need?
Sandpaper.
Sandpaper.
Yep. So she's all go now. Good spotting though. Yes, it is true. We got a new camera this week. Winner chicken dinner.
There you go. How's that? Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Nice. But yes, it does look better, doesn't it?
I think so.
It's a bit more even Stevens now. So yeah, thanks very much for joining in, everyone. And yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to prep these again because didn't quite. When we did it the first time, we didn't quite do it correctly.
Look at that, chop the hill.
Which one?
I'll go that way. Yeah. Let's tilt that camera down.
And Robert says, and if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge. Wow, very good. Luckily Irish.
Can dodge a wrench, you can dodge it.
Man, he just goes, let's say, in that scene, he just goes, whap.
You can take a hit.
You can take a hit, all right.
How's that? You can see us, eh? Pretty good. Hang on, just tilt it down a little bit. I think that's pretty good. You can kind of see what's happening. That's the plan anyway. Where did my side cutters go? Did you take them? No, I didn't.
I didn't take them.
There you go.
So tell us what the specs, if you want, how much better is the resolution?
Oh, for the camera, you sure?
I think is it 1080p, 60 frames a second, I think.
Hang on, I'll just look off screen, hang on. Full HD.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's at 1080 at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
I got it right the first time.
Yep, what he said.
And in terms of how much better, 100%.
100% better, hopefully.
Provided it's, working.
Yes. But anyway, what's the time over there? It's about 4:20 on a Friday evening for us. And
that's right. We'll be working on the episode this week, or it'll come up hopefully next week. And that will come out on YouTube. So on Tuesday, all going well.
And we'll give you a hint.
We've seen that I only just managed to do it on the time gap, right?
I seem to.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that
we'll let you in on a little hint about what that might be very shortly.
And what were you guys up to this week? Were you guys making like a plane or an R2 unit or something? Who knows? Congratulations. Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
And we were actually making, we were talking with, we can show him the picture.
I think we were talking to Robert the other day.
We were having a chat with Robert. To answer your question about what's in the shop in terms of airbrushing, because I know you're talking about like what we airbrushing. I think you can grab that camera, Harry.
No, just don't hold it up for a second.
Yeah, so Harry will check over to that one so you can see what's going on.
So Robert asked...
So maybe just hold the camera so it doesn't fall off or something funky. There's only taped on there.
Like that,
yeah. So this is Harry's over there. So there you go. So that's what we
airbrushed.
Go down a bit.
Down.
There.
Down.
There. Yeah, up a bit.
Up a bit.
Yeah, up a bit.
Up a bit.
There you go. That's what we airbrushed on our canvas. So that was
a long time
ago. So there we go. So that was, I think it was Megan Fox from Transformers, I think.
Long time ago. There you go. So that's for Robert asked that question, so we thought we'd answer that.
So yeah, that's cool. Doing some airbrushing and things like that. I think art is always a good thing, if you can, or music or something like that.
Any sort of art.
If you can, that is.
So it's your thing. 8:20 p.m. Standard Time. Nice.
Oh yeah, cool. Beautiful job. Okay, you can see it now. That's good.
Nice. There you go. That's for you, Robert. And yeah, it was kind of what kind of purple was it in the end? I think it was just called like purple candy or something.
Rain. I might even have the bottle. Hang on. I don't think we used it up.
Or did we just make our own colour?
I don't think so.
But we do a little bit of airbrushing on the planes that we do sometimes. I guess we did it on the 18.
Nope, not that one. It's called violet.
Just violet?
Straight violet. Aero colour. Just
an
acrylic.
Just acrylic for that one, but we've done, like we said, we've done
airbrushing on our own car and stuff like that. But
not on the current one, but yeah, normal car paint stuff. It's an interesting...
Only difference about that one, you're going to have to add thinners to it, which makes it a little harder.
Yeah, a little bit. And you don't want to make a mistake. Well, you never want to make a mistake.
Robert says he does do 3 sets of tanks and fenders. Wow, okay. Every winter for a bike club. Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And we've got their tastes in different styles, so...
Yeah, some might be into skulls.
Skulls or...
Oh, you've got a welding helmet over there, too. We did that one ages ago.
Now you're just showing off, Harry.
Well, I was just trying to...
It's a bit battered and bruised now because we've been using it heaps. So, where's the camera? Over here, maybe? Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. But yeah, all airbrushed. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, nice.
I think we've got another one that's got a wolf on it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we said, it's got it's a bit weathered now.
Been used quite a bit. Needs an update.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good to life in a effectively a black bit of plastic up. Right?
Yeah,
it's a bit plain, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is coming along. We've got to dig out this effectively sort of, I wouldn't want to say a mistake as such, but effectively kind of semi-mistake by the printer when it printed these.
Might as well blame it on the printer. It can't defend it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yes.
it doesn't. It can't talk back.
No, exactly.
But that's okay.
But yes, hope everybody's having a great evening. So,
Robert says that helmet would come in handy during the backpack drone demonstration.
Great suggestion. Yeah, nice.
Do you guys have a welding setup?
Oh, used to.
I feel that we're going to need to very shortly.
Yeah, if we're doing,
especially some of these, like the ones like say the VTOL setup that we're going to do for the for the tilt action for the quad tilt rotor, and we're going to obviously possibly maybe do that the drone pack in
Aluminium or something.
Aluminium or something like
So
that.
maybe shortly.
What setup do you suggest that we should do? Obviously, it doesn't want to be the most expensive setup in the world.
No, definitely.
But you'd probably be what, using?
Probably aluminium would be.
Probably aluminium, something strong, and
probably small. Our original one used to be arc, but we never really used it that much. So
because it was a bit aggressive. So I was
a
kind of thinking, we're kind of inclined to maybe do something like MiG or TIG.
Yeah.
Maybe look in that direction.
Well, we used to, years and years ago, we did get our 4-7-11 tickets, which, if you're not from the welding world, it's kind of like your
pilot's license of welding.
Yeah. And what was that on? Overhead MiG and things like that.
Johnny says he needs a small welder for Wally's arms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, like a little spot weld.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And you're making a Wally too, sweet. Who do we know that's making a Wally? We need 2 people.
That is Johnny.
Oh, that Johnny. Oh, he's got a new name. Different.
Is that you, John Ferguson?
Is that you, John? Have you got a new icon? Didn't recognize it. But yeah.
Well, they call it Avatar, right?
Avatar.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're into that film or not. MiG, TIG, and stick in all one set. Okay.
Yeah, like a home kind of.
All in one.
An all-in-one.
That's why I run in my shop. Okay. And obviously you need to change your amperage in the workshop too, right? To be able to compensate for that.
You might be able to get. Can you get them today? I don't know. Can you get them like a low, like household?
In New Zealand we use 240 volts.
Yeah.
Don't we? Yeah.
240.
But I know that if you're running something like a workshop welder, you'll blow you
Used
up.
to. That might be different now. It used to be like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the modern day one.
Modern day, yeah. Back in the day, you had to get the professional, massive unit. You know something. Mike's making one too. Yeah. I just saw his video before we went. Before we went.
On a short. Yeah, very cool. He does his eyebrows like that. And can you do both eyes? I can only do one.
You can do that, though, right?
Yeah, he
did. Can you do those tricks?
Yeah, that's what Wally could do, and it was chirping, and it was very cool to see. For the people out there that not too sure what we're talking about, is we're talking about John Ferguson, and has joined the chat, and he's talking also about Mike Owen, which is we interviewed him.
Well, both of them.
Yeah, both of you two, which is epic, and we met you in
Shearfest in Auckland.
Shearfest is I was trying to think of the name, but yeah, very cool.
But we did an interview with both of you, so you're welcome to go and check that out. That interview, very, very cool.
Very epic to meet you guys.
Happy says I've welded in a 110 or 220, and I prefer the 220 volt welding. It's pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. No, I think welding is pretty cool, useful tool. What did we do when we were at uni? It was we did our normal ones, but they also talked about. Is there 14 different types? Oh, when we were there might have been more now.
Yeah, there's friction stir welding, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with. It's kind of like effectively like a milling machine, and it effectively just goes straight into it like a mill, effectively, and then just churns the metal together, and it's kind of like a machine shop type thing. So you'd only see it in like production of
cars or
something like that. So
yeah, very useful.
It's friction stir welding. I know modern day time you can get what's called a laser welder, but I think it's very specific as well.
The metal. To the metal, yes. There's different types. When we were there, it was about 14 different types. But yeah, other than the standard
3 that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of interesting. I guess they're always getting better at something, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But it would be quite good to get back into it, just to familiarize yourself again
for that world, and then
maybe we could join. Shot off into the sky, and then we can join it into the episodes there.
Yeah,
different experience.
Maybe next time, maybe if John comes up, maybe we could tack Wally together or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
But naturally, it's going to be all the sort of fiddly stuff, right?
Yeah. So small.
It's probably not going to be so much the arc stuff. It's more structural beams and things like that.
Yeah. But yes, we're making headway with these guys. Maybe I should change the camera back, then we can.
I've only welded in MIG. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, bit of glue or something. More like running a bead of glue, yeah. We're talking about the 4711. I actually have one of Harry's old test pieces. So this is what you use. Why is it doing that? So this is one of Harry's first test pieces. So it's not perfect. There's this one here. So this is what they call a 4711 test. So effectively what you do is you oxyacetylene cut this in half. This massive plate. How thick is it? You got a gauge? I mean, I can feel it. It weighs. It's just steel, solid steel. I don't know, good 10. Okay, so what you do is you cut this in half, 10 millimeters thick, and then
this is for the exam.
For the exam, and then what you do is you weld it, obviously, and you can get your certification in horizontal, vertical, overhead, and then effectively what you do is it goes into an ultra scan and gets lasered, and they test it to see if you've got any impurities, and if you do on any level, you fail the test, and there's a time limit and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, super difficult to pass.
They put an X-ray as well.
But you don't get to keep those pieces, so we made some extra ones, so we get to keep those. Yeah, that goes off to the testing guy.
Testing dude.
You don't get that back. I seen you a picture that on Messenger. That's the one I just got. Oh, sweet. I don't think I can bring that up on the screen, but I can have a look at it. So then I know what you're talking about. But yes, hopefully you guys are all enjoying the stream.
Yes, so there you go, and behind us you can see that we are making some headway.
Oh, very fancy. Nice.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Cheers, dude.
I'll have a proper look at it later on.
Thanks for sending us that, dude.
5 stars, what are they?
Horrible. All right. Okay, so we're chopping through this external layer that shouldn't be there.
Oh, yes. And the filament that we're mainly uses on this particular plane is PLA lightweight. If you hadn't used that kind of stuff before, it's just kind of what mainly planes are made out of. We don't tend to make them our own designs out of that, but we just normally compensate with more power. But it's just one of those things. All right, I was going to swap that over to the next one, I guess. But either way, hopefully you guys are all having a great weekend, evening, daytime, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you guys tuning in very much.
Richard. Yeah, I disappeared, have I? It is, what do you say? It's
really cool.
60,
happy, thanks.
18 root with a 70,
10 2 parts. Nice.
They call the wild test a CWB test in all positions. There you go. So it's got different names, but effectively the same thing. Yeah.
I guess in different countries, different worlds.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so I'll cut a little bit more out so you can kind of see what I've done. Made a bit of progress while we've been talking, so that's something. And I guess I'll start on the next piece, which is this one.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yep, so if you're just joining the chat, we are, well, live stream as it were, we are making our way through this build. It is an RC Eagle 3D printed design, and it will be flying at some stage in the future. And we're streaming on TikTok and we're streaming on YouTube.
But mainly YouTube.
That's where it's at, as they say.
That's what Happy says.
So yeah, if the stream finishes for some reason, you're welcome to join in on YouTube. We'll just continue on there. That's our main
jam.
Main jam. There we go.
But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a great week.
Nice. Yeah, nice. After all, we want to see this guy fly, right? That's what it's all about.
Well, that and also in one piece.
Yeah, yeah. The other one that we have got together is the 3D printed other plane, which was the Titan Dynamics Micro Talon.
YouTube is where it happened. Yeah.
Micro Talon. And that one's still together. We haven't tested them yet, so I guess we'll be sending that one as well when we go and do this one, I suppose. Might as well. Be good to see if it can fly. I'm sure they can. It's just one of those things. We had a bit of unluck with that one, didn't we?
Which one? Oh,
the Micro Talon.
Micro Talon, yeah, just smacked into the ground, didn't it? That's okay. We'll figure it out in the future. Can't make things too easy, can we?
No.
I've just got a print that I'm doing for someone.
Helping somebody else out. You got to do these things.
It'll probably take me a while to get off. I'll just take that filament out.
Yeah, just take
Work on that later on.
Yeah, just show them. It's fine.
Okay, so these are the pieces that we're working on. As you can see, it actually has a hole now, which is good. And where something like that does not. So that's not what we want.
We want to get in there.
Yeah, we want to
put
get
a
in
spar to put in there. It only has one spar on the design, it looks like. That goes through. So it's kind of interesting. Quite a lightweight design, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we're just going to use a wooden dowling of it.
Yep. I think it suggests to use a carbon rod, maybe 8mm. I'm not sure. Hang on. Let's have a look. Yeah, 8mm. 1 meter about. And that goes into the wing. But we don't have that available where we are, so we'll be using carbon. Just have to make do with what you can. Do you think that would add too much to the design, Richard? Do you think it'll be too heavy to compensate?
Yeah, it should be right. What size propeller are we using here?
Probably a 7-inch probably prop, I'm thinking.
Is it? Right.
Or maybe it's more. Maybe it's a 12-inch, I'm not sure.
Have a look.
I'll read the design, hang on. Let's have a look. And so you can use a 2S or 3S, and you need a foldable prop if you want, or a 10-inch. So 11 or 10. There you go. Well, we should be able to find one of those in the shop. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Oh, sorry. I'll just come and flip over to this one.
Probably close that one down here.
Okay, see you on the next one, and thanks so much. Robert says, nice slope saw with the slope with that little dig happy. Floats on anything. Oh, slope saw. Yeah, nice. I got you. Yeah, should be cool. Nice. Beep. Am I in your way?
Yeah, it's all good. I'll just let that cool down.
Cooling down?
Yeah. Check that another.
IG, isn't it?
Okay.
IG.
Yeah.
Sure. But yes, we're making some headway. Hope you can see Richard's hands.
I've got the. Well, the guy goes, these hands are for healing.
Yeah. I cannot hurt anyone. Cannot hit anyone. The hands are for healing.
So yeah, there we go. We've got lots of swarf. I guess you can call it swarf. What would you
Classic
call it?
swarf ones.
Classic swarf, I guess. I guess you call it small.
But nobody would know once it's all back together again.
You won't tell anyone.
No.
Nobody will out you.
Nope. Secret safe with us. But yeah, once this one's all back to, once we're all trimmed and perfect, we will be start the assembly phase, and we pretty much is just wham bam glue jam, and then start adding the electronics. And I think we're doing it PWM styles. We're not going to put a flight control on this fella. We'll just do it the old school way.
And I know that you can do it as a slope saw, this guy.
Without a propeller.
Without a propeller. It's kind of like one of those optional ones, but
just print out a different cowling.
Yeah, just a different cowling, but
nose.
Everything else is exactly the same. Right?
Yeah, why not? Happy says the DGLs are feather lightweight and will stay up with nearly no wind. Amazing after playing with the heavier models. Have you ever tried a DLG? A Riversman?
A DLG. Sounds like a flight simulator.
Let's go and have a look.
DLG. But I know that there's a there used to be like a company called like LG. Life is good.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. It's a weird.
Oh, I just saw John's Wally. There you go. It just came up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
very
great,
cool.
man.
His eyes are epic. Which is just going to bring that up on the screen so you guys can see.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning into the episode. We're on live stream. We are working on the Eagle. Where's the header? Oh, there it is. We're working on the Eagle, and thanks for tuning in. You're welcome to jump into the YouTube episode, which is happening right now for a more in-depth episode.
Episodic live stream experience?
Live stream experience, but yes, thanks for tuning in.
There we go.
We can change that over?
I think so, yeah.
Hang on, we'll just jump that one over here.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
That one. That one. That's the one, eh? Yeah. I think this is the one that we're talking about there, Happy. In a little bit.
Is this the one we're talking about, guys?
I have two. I have one almost identical to the one you have. He's got like a, I think Happy's got the yellow one, right?
Yeah. I guess you could just
works
change,
like a charm.
You could just change the
color scheme.
Color scheme, right? That's entirely optional. Looks cool though. Very efficient, as you were saying.
Good wing structure.
Nice.
But yes, we are working on this guy, making good progress.
It looks like it's balsa wood with its solar film. Is that correct? Yeah, must be.
Looks like solar film.
Yeah. What does it say? With a motor option, I bought the once it arrived and damaged and just never replaced it. Okay, nice. Okay, you can change back into the screen.
Yeah, for sure. Just bring the camera over.
Maybe turn that one off for a bit. Give it a bit of a rest. There you go.
There you go. So we've got a bit of a camera angle there. There you go.
So there you go, you can see what we're doing. Chipping away at it, as they
Chipping
say.
away at
it. We have to thank once again everybody for tuning up to these things.
Yeah, so good effort.
It requires an immense amount of effort, so thanks very much.
For sure.
And yeah,
appreciate you guys. Happy says, yeah, those are carbon fiber and get super expensive for sure. Yeah, anything in carbon fiber. We used to have a mate that we used to fly with Years and years ago, I haven't seen the guy for a long time, but we used to fly with him every weekend. And
his gliders, they were specifically gliders. Either
he made his own designs. Powered gliders, kind of like that.
What? I don't think they did have any power in it.
No.
Just a straight slope soarer. And he either used Kevlar or he used carbon fiber or a combination of both.
Very cool. Very cool to see. But yeah, not so good if it crashed. That would be expensive.
Yeah.
But cool to see that. Very cool.
You got to focus on the positives.
Yeah, focus on the positives. Yeah. But we used to use help them with the winch, right? We'd send it up with a winch. Hook it onto the plane, and then run back, and then send it.
Does anybody have a preference of winches? Do you prefer the electric winch style?
Have you guys ever used a winch?
Or the classic bungee winch? Pros and cons with both, but I think in our particular club at the time, I think the preference was the electric winch. I think mainly because it was more modern at that time.
But now it's like you put a little motor on the front.
Oh, you mean with the propeller?
Powered kind of thing.
Powered kind of.
But yeah, it's
not quite the same though. It doesn't glide the same because you've got the extra bit of weight, right?
Really, what they should do is they should fire up, right, and then they should just
eject the propeller.
Inject the propeller motor and housing out the front, and then it would be true. The CG would be getting a bit skewed there.
No, wouldn't like it on the changeover, but anyway.
It'd be funny to see. Happy says some of his got glass at the top with foam core and picked up the cheap ones at the swap meets. It's nothing to spend 1.5 on a nice one. Too rich, yeah, it's for sure. Robert says it's well over 160 miles an hour. Yeah, it'd be pretty quick, all right, for sure. Happy says never used a winch. Sounds fun. Yeah, there's an interesting thing when you go to the top of the climb on when you're doing winch pull, where you have to use a little, you dip down a bit, and that's sometimes where people go astray and things go south. But
really quick
to get the unhook it itself, and that's an interesting one. Things do go amiss, but
for the most part,
that works. Yeah.
We have launched I think it was a foam wing plane.
Oh, yeah.
I think on it was a slope soarer plane.
Oh, yeah.
On a winch once, and the strength couldn't hold up to the ratio on the bungee.
That was quite
and
funny.
Effectively, what happened is it clapped its hands.
That was the end of it.
And that was
buried itself in the ground. But it was exciting, you know.
It was, you know, it was quite the talk.
It's quite the talk of the town. I usually get those planes from like a state kind of sales. Robert says I had a hot start electric, just found the bungee cord works a lot better. Oh yeah, nice. Turbine powered ones, Happy says. Wow, that'd be quick.
What kind of turbine?
Like an EDF turbine, or we're talking like jet turbine?
I mean, loud. Be cool though.
Yeah.
What do they use on a aircraft carrier?
Yep.
What do they use on an aircraft carrier when they're launching those jets off the deck? So very something with a lot of punch, right?
I bet it would be. No, we don't have any amazing carriers like that over here. Nothing that exciting.
The best that we had was a somewhat ugly aircraft, boat.
Frigate kind of thing.
Frigate type
multi thing.
Was it a multi-vessel thing, and then the guy sunk it because he was either A, drunk or... It was, yeah.
had a reef or something. It was a bit of bad luck.
It wasn't under like any sort of combat or anything. He just the best in the Navy and just sunk the whole boat right in the harbour. Completely calm.
But it was a bit of bad luck, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, but it was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it?
Well, he might have been drinking at the time, but I'm not sure if he's still in the Navy anymore, but you know.
But anyway, hopefully they get another one. Hopefully they can replace it.
Nobody got hurt or anything.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He just sank the whole thing.
And that's
that was not recoverable.
That was our only big kind of ship that we went around the world in.
Not us personally.
No. But as the Navy did. That was the big one. So hopefully they're replacing and get a new one.
Yeah, but yeah. It's definitely what they call my bad move.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
So hopefully that's not the case in your countries.
Just running into the reef, wasn't it?
Abby says he hasn't got any around to post any videos on his power glider yet. Oh, that's right. Good things take time, man.
Yeah, we don't mind waiting. It's all good.
I'm sure it'll be worth the effort when you get there. But yeah, and chipping away at this.
Yep, that's for sure. But yeah, we are working on this guy. If you're just tuning in,
drinking and water.
That's what we're working on. That's what it's all about.
Drinking and water isn't a good mix unless you're drinking water. They do say that on the sea, though, you can get, what do you call it? Did you say intoxicated? I guess you can say that. A lot quicker with less effort. So
yeah.
Something to do with the movement of the water. So I guess if you're that way inclined in terms of that's what you did for like a pastime, then yeah, just sit on your boat and you're gonna not spend so much on drink. So there you go. Inside tip there for you. Carriers use a steam ram, says Johnny.
Oh, okay. Steam ram.
You Chinese carriers use electromagnetic launch as well. That's smart.
Okay, electromagnetic.
Wonder what how much force they're generating. Could we find that out?
Steam rams. Steam ram's cool. Electromagnet's an interesting design. Kind of like a railgun, right?
Kind of like a railgun or a
bullet train.
Yeah, I was thinking of bullet train. Yeah.
Well, one of those car crashes, they use electromagnet.
Car crashes?
Yeah, to lift the metal afterwards.
No,
electric magnets.
Oh, right, yeah.
Used in a different way.
That's more of an attracting force, but yeah.
Yeah. But bullet trains, they don't actually touch the rails, right? That's why how they can go so quick.
Yes. Not so good for them when they're having breakfast. Yes, that's right. Yeah. The downsides of being out on the water.
Yeah.
But have you ever been on an aircraft carrier? That'd be pretty cool, right?
Since we're talking about aircraft.
I know that, I think it might have been Adam Savage, so we were talking about Mythbusters earlier. He did a little article on a video once in like a museum effectively, and that was an aircraft carrier. Right?
Yeah. I guess the only one that we can like destroyer or that sort of thing, frigate. There was one that was called the Canterbury, and they blew it up for. I think they were using it mainly as special forces and like a
training type of thing.
Practice things. They were blowing it up. We went there for that. It was closed to the public for that day, but the day before, prior to the explosions, they what were they doing? You just had it open for the public, and we got to go and have a look. But they chopped 90% of it down, but ready for the explosions to happen. But it was still pretty cool. It was steam powered, that one, I think.
Yeah, and now I think you can, if you're a diver, certified diver, you can go and see it.
Yeah, would they think that?
Bay of Violence, as they say. Johnny said that there's one in San Diego you can go through. Yeah, I think that might have been the one that Adam Savage went to. Very cool, though.
Oh, in San Diego, that's SEAL territory.
I know that.
Very cool.
I think that might have also been where Tom Cruise did his premiere on the aircraft carrier. It might have been San Diego. He came in on the helicopter.
I'm not too sure.
For Top Gun Maverick, I think.
Oh, okay. Either way, the San Diego is very cool. And so they say. I mean, I've seen it on the movies.
Yeah.
And Google Maps. And I've seen it on Google Maps.
They don't let us out much.
No.
The Midway. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. That's yeah. Yes, it's San Diego. You can go through it. Yeah.
So we're getting there, guys. There's a mixture of different materials for this one, but mainly lightweight filament. There's one unsanded for you, and we're just chopping out reducing some weight that was added by the 3D printer. And on this particular one, is it just normal, what is this, PLA lightweight? No, PLA, just PLA, recycled PLA from our good sponsors, KiwiFil.
And there's also a color, so that's the black, and then there's also a rainbow colored one.
And we also got some of the rainbow right there, and that kind of, hang on, like that. You can kind of get what it's happening. Just sort of add a bit of color mix in there.
obviously that won't be the end result as what it looks like.
I guess we'll be, we were talking about earlier in the stream, we'll be jumping into airbrush world to do that. So look forward to that part in the series coming up.
Hence why we were talking about airbrushing earlier with the Megan Fox picture up there.
Oh yeah, big fan of
Transformers.
Transformers, very cool. Our favorite is probably Optimus Prime. It's our favorite Transformer. Bumblebee's cool, but Optimus Prime's better. Just saying. Yeah. It would be pretty cool to airbrush one of those big trucks there, just like Optimus Prime.
Very cool. Very sweet. Yeah. Who's your favorite in terms of Transformers? Do you have a favorite character? Well, I guess you could say like the actual character, like say Sam Witwicky or.
But yes.
Have you changed that one here?
This one? No. If you want to continue on, head over to our YouTube channel. All right. So we're making some headway, guys, and we're getting there.
Are you going to do that on the shorts? Or don't worry.
I just do Twitch.
I can do that on this one.
Yeah, that's what it's designed for, right?
What about the face?
We'll do it after that. The face.
Okay, so this is.
Again, it's taking a little bit longer than we were hoping, but good things take time, I guess.
There you go, as you can see. It is hollow. It's good.
We want to reduce that weight, but we also want to have the structural integrity. We've also gone for a slightly bigger motor to compensate for excess weight. We always tend to choose a slightly bigger motor and more power, and we just like that. Having a little bit more punch at the top end is always good.
Yeah.
And a coming up stream will be we're planning to go out flying, and we're just doing some last minute checks on the 5.5 era.
5.5. Oh yeah, you're talking about the drone.
Yeah. The one that we made not this week, last week.
That's right. We did 2 episodes on them.
Yeah. Just like a short mini series build on the. I was going to say 5.5 Dead Cat. That's the one. That's what Happy was talking about. Was the Dead Cat design. So that's what we'll be doing. We're looking forward to that. We're just going to do a couple little checks and make sure it's all safe and sound. But it's been raining and there's been thunder, so we haven't been able to do that. So
is that lightning and thunder? Is that?
Going back to the start of the stream, we're calling it lightning and lightning.
You know that makes no sense, right?
Makes perfect sense. Robin says Headmaster Autobots was his favourite. Headmaster. Do we know that one? Just have a quick search. Hang on.
I'm not familiar with that guy.
Headmaster. Sounds cool. Leader of the.
Is it Autobots?
Yeah, it's the Headmaster.
Right.
It's legit.
It's legit. Not that we didn't believe you, by the way. That sounds like we don't believe him.
No, we do believe him. Yeah. What did he transform
Morpheus is, I believe whatever it is that you want. Okay. Very fancy. You learned something about Autobots that we didn't even know.
Very cool.
Skull and crossbones and a cat. There we go.
And what have you guys been watching on your TV at the moment, other than us, of course? I was meaning like on a, like say, like a daytime or something like TV series or
you mean
movie.
like Netflix or?
Sure. You guys watching something cool? Other than, of course, Transformers and the H&R John Racing show, right? That's what Netflix should do. They should.
He was the.
They should ask us to be on their Netflix show.
Ah, okay. He was the butler. Okay, so he's the voice of
Anthony Hopkins.
No, he's not. So
He's the butler.
Yeah, but that's not Anthony Hopkins. He's the butler for Anthony Hopkins.
So who's the voice of that?
He's the guy of Downton Abbey's voice. The head butler in Downton Abbey.
Ah, good name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're just joining the stream, we are in the workshop and we are working on this guy. This is the RC Eagle.
That's just his head.
That's just his head. There's other parts that we're working on at the moment, and that's what we're doing.
And we're just clearing up some debris, making it all ship shape and look good.
That's right.
There you go. Clear it out a bit more.
Happy says he doesn't have a TV. That's right. As they always say, you don't have a TV, but you got the couch. Or something like that.
Oh, you don't need a TV.
You don't need a TV. You got like phone or computer, same sort of thing, modern day time, right?
Absolutely.
And Johnny says Pyribus. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, he's quite a cool guy. He's an insane guy, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we are live, and we're talking currently about why we're doing this build, which is the RC Eagle. We are just debating about Transformers at the same time. So remember to join on the chat. It's very informal right here.
Share, like, and subscribe. Try and tick all the T's and boxes to make. That's what they say.
We've kept them somewhat in terms of attention, Harry. So what is your
What do you mean?
You know how we said that we'd leave a spoiler.
Oh, spoiler.
Next episode. So
for on Tuesday.
So I think we've sort of kept them waiting long enough in terms of that. So all going well, we're planning to continue on.
How are you gonna say that without telling them exactly? Like a hint, because you want a hint, right? Because it's cooler. You could just say it straight up, but
I don't even know how to say that. It is one of our rare pushing prop projects.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So that's coming up on Tuesday, hopefully, if we can get it done.
Yeah.
But it's looking okay at the moment.
Done quite well in the edit so far, and the guy's looking pretty good. We've got to power him up.
We haven't done that yet.
I don't want to say too much, but hopefully it all goes well when we power him up. You never know until you actually plug it in.
No, you don't.
That's the danger zone right there.
The danger zone.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No. So fingers crossed. That will work good. And then that way.
Does this join to your one or no?
Must.
I think it does. Yeah. That in there. Yeah.
If it's not, we can just replace it. So that was the hint. So there you go.
Will your jumbo-sized Eagle someday world's largest 3D printed bird?
Oh, it's an interesting idea.
That'd be cool.
Makes the list. 3D printed bird. Maybe we could write that down.
Yeah, I'll check it on the list.
How are we getting on? We're making headway, right?
Yep, it goes on the list, guys.
Yeah, we're making some quite good headway.
We've got some parts
I think
here.
what we're working on is the main structure now.
There we go, some parts.
The interesting thing about lightweight PLA is it's very furry, I guess you'd say. You can see in there.
I don't think that's the technical term.
It's definitely is. There's a lot of swarf in the, I should say, in the lathe shop. Yeah, it's just kind of, it just goes with the, goes with that territory of that filament. But one day, this is just the normal lightweight filament. There is also these days,
you can get sort of
high temp,
heat
high
sensitive temp. Or ASA.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I think ASA lightweight, I think they call it.
Yeah, but in this particular case, we are using the lightweight thing. So hopefully, it's one of those ones where it doesn't get melted in the sun. We don't want that. Aesthetics is everything.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good. So yeah, that is one of the downsides of 3D printing when you're doing these aircraft. Something that we've always got to be aware of and stuff is that the sun is not your friend.
No, he's the enemy.
In this particular case.
And gravity.
And gravity. So you got like a sort of like a time window when you launch these guys, or otherwise you got to keep them in like a blanket over the top of them before flight. Once, of course, they're in flight, there's lots of wind generated and you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, not so good before the flight.
No. So one day we'll try out the
lightweight ASA, I think they call it.
Yeah. Thinking about maybe a 5-meter wingspan eagle. Wow, how would we put that in the car? 5 meters.
You definitely need a trailer or a truck.
Yeah. And the way we normally make them is we normally don't have it so the wings come off.
You can have Optimus Prime's truck.
Yeah, there you go. Very cool. That would be a cool robot to make too. Cool robot to make.
Is that something that you'd ever do, Johnny? Would you ever do Optimus Prime or something like that where they transform? Is that something you might do later down the track, maybe?
I know you're making a Tars from
Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah, that was cool.
Very cool. Very cool. He's a very odd sort of character, Tars, as well.
Movement
like in terms of movement and aesthetics. He seems to be able to just sort of move without any sort of like form of...
Interesting design, yeah. Forward, backwards. Interesting robot.
Yeah.
How are we getting on, Jim?
All good, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. And yeah, we enjoy making these ones for you guys. So yeah, thanks for spending the time with us as we make this plane. So the part that I'm working on at the moment is the tail. You can see his little tail there. Hang on, maybe there. You can kind of see his tail.
Alright, so his body is
and
coming
one of
together.
these fins would go on like that. There you go.
And what about that one? Do you think that one joins that one? Like that? Oh, yeah, that might be... Cut that one out, yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay. I guess you can jack on Tars there.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Yeah, so just we were talking about Tars, which is an interesting droid robot.
Where we go?
Yes, that's right. He built, but I could not get him to move because the electronics took.
Oh, wrong one. Hang on, we'll bring it up.
So this is what we're talking about, guys. So this is Tars from Interstellar movie. So this is one with Matthew McConaughey as the main character. Very cool film, and the cinematic music in this one is really something special.
We use a lot.
And he does some amazing test pilot maneuvers in this one. I remember there's a scene where effectively he has to attach to his main spaceship, I guess you'd say, and he has to rotate in orbit and match it while doing docking. I remember there was an interview with what's his name?
Real astronaut.
Chris Hadfield, which is a real astronaut, and he was talking about that particular maneuver, and he was definitely took his hat off to even attempt something like this. But something has been done kind of similar in the real world with the International Space Station. They had to do a sort of emergency manual docking, but of course when you're doing a manual docking, much like the automatic docking, that's the process where you effectively in your module and then you're attached to the main spaceship, in this case the International Space Station.
They managed it.
They managed it to do it manually without an automatic docking, which had never been done previously. So it's only very recently, maybe, was it like last year, something like that? Yeah, very special. And of course, it's not something you can do in 10 seconds. It takes like kind of like a couple of hours to be able to pull a stunt off like that. Very cool though. So yeah, so that's Tars, everyone.
Johnny says, yes, I built Tars. Oh, I had him talking.
But you can't get him to move. That's all right.
That's okay, man.
Maybe just make him a bit bigger and you get a bit more space. But I guess then you'd have to do a
bigger
motors and bigger screen, because he has a screen, doesn't he? His LCD screen, so it lights up.
But either way, just cool to see that project. Very rare.
Do you need to join it with that? Are those?
We'll be making
this is his tail, by the way.
I think we'll be making our own version.
Oh yeah. So you want me to dig those out, or just leave them?
Leave them now. We'll just make our own.
Okay, so maybe a bit of sanding for him. Yeah, okay. So we're actually getting through this slight hiccup, I guess you'd say.
That's right.
We'll just through the hiccup.
We'll do our version of the original version, and when we go to joining them together.
We always do some kind of customization, so
It's pretty.
we're starting the game running with a customization right off the bat.
But yes. And then we'll start sanding them, and then maybe get onto some gluing, perhaps. I don't know.
We'll
see how
we go on the stream. But
either way, it's quite cool. Looking forward to it. And the start of it was quite cool to share what the drone pack's looking like earlier in the stream. So if you missed that and you just tuned in, you're welcome to go back and check that out.
Yeah, Harry had it on his back.
Yeah. And yeah, keep your suggestions coming along with that one. It'll be an interesting one.
Seems to be quite a controversial topic, that one.
Seemed to be, yeah.
So this is the jetpack design that we're talking about. So I guess it's one of those ones, love it or hate it. That's what we're doing.
For that episode. But
for that series anyway. But you know, that's the good thing about doing a couple of different ones is the different series that is you can
keeps it interesting
for us. And it means that someone that might not like that series, they've got something that they enjoy.
Yeah,
whether it's the wingsuits or whatever. But yeah, but we always try and if it's a good suggestion, we try and include it in the designs as much as possible. So yeah,
try and upgrade it.
Other than just like you know, stop or something. Yeah. Not so helpful, but something if it's a good design suggestion or idea for a project, we'll
try and do it.
We'll try and do it. So hence the reason why we're doing this particular project, because that was something that was suggested to us on live stream.
We're making headway with this one. Yeah, it'd be good to start mounting it and doing all the electronics in it. Shouldn't actually take too long.
Once you get
minor setback.
Get past this window, you might have to sort of add maybe like a metal probe or something to get through it.
Oh, yeah, minor.
Heat probe or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
not a big deal. As long as it flies, nobody will notice. Don't think.
Some weird stuff going on here, eh?
What's that?
Oh, just in general, like this one's got a big slot down the middle of it. It's literally, I can see daylight through it. Very interesting design, development, and aspect that these guys are doing in their design. The good thing about looking at somebody else's design close up is you can take inspiration for what you may do in your one in the future. So it's always a good thing.
I guess a bit like for the coaxial one where I think it might have been Happy. I'm quite sure who gave that suggestion, was to look at somebody else's design and get inspiration from them for their suspension landing.
Oh, we were making a landing, yeah.
And then we did our version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you're just joining the stream, we are live, and we are making an RC Eagle, and it will be flying hopefully soon.
Yeah,
but of course we've got to put it together, assemble it, and of course figure out how to do the live stream aspect so you can get closer to the action. It's always because of course we want to bring the viewer in to the action rather than just sort of partaking. We try and get it as close as we can to the action so you guys can have the best experience possible. I know someone like Tom Cruise spends a lot of time thinking about how to do that.
But then that's the reason why you watch.
You always try and watch the best of the best at what they do. Lots of other different directors out there. Like one of our ones that we like is a director called Michael Mann. If you're not familiar with his work, it sort of stems from something like I was thinking Miami Vice would be his remakes, and the real thing, and the original.
Oh, he did do the real one.
He does quite a lot of low light filming. Very cool. And I think he did another one called Tokyo. Something Tokyo is a series. It's quite good. If you have an issue seeing the daylight through it, just fly at nighttime. Yeah, that's right. Because in the I think it was the last stream we were talking about the.
Oh, you're talking about for melting. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, but you could add lights to it, right? I know we were talking about that last time.
Oh yeah.
It's a very cool suggestion.
What is that?
But I'm not sure in New Zealand if you're allowed to fly at night. You are allowed to fly, but under like 10 meters, I think. Restricted. Otherwise, you need a certification, special circumstance kind of thing.
I guess we could get that, sir. Oh, it's just if
you're allowed to set it, right?
Well, allowed to set it.
Situations to set it.
Situations,
But it would be cool to sit.
I guess each country has their own rules and regulations. And I guess they're always changing all the time. And this one will be painted afterwards, so it doesn't matter too much about sanding.
Looking good, that. Nice. There you go. There's the what do you call it? Like feathers, I guess is one of the cool aspects of this design. It's just not something that you'd see on a normal wing. Right?
Not so much. No.
So obviously, it's the feathers at the end of the wing. Very unique idea. Obviously, super delicate. So. You crash, I'm not sure how well
they will last.
They'll last, but I guess if you don't crash, you're all good, right? I guess the final result in terms of build would look really nice.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And hopefully the stream's coming through well.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can see us and hear us. Yeah, just send through, as they say, make some noise so you can see. Send through a smiley face or a thumbs up or whatever you like, just so we know it's all working correctly. It's good to check these things. Cool, man. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thanks, Bart.
Cool. And on the last live stream, I think we were to do with that outboard, weren't we? With the sub skimmer.
Sub skimmer was the last one.
So that was the last live stream that we did. What day was that? You know?
Not sure, but it was last week sometime.
Was it Sunday? It might have been Sunday for us. But it seemed to be going well. What are we doing with the outboard? We'll finish it off, right?
Yeah, I think we're just putting it together. The last kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I's and T's. And
Nobody. Johnny says sandy, more sandy. Nobody tells you about the sandy when you buy it from a year. That's right, man. And I guess it's just like body work on a car or a truck or whatever it is that you're
working on.
You're going to sand the heck out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be doing too much. Maybe just quite a coarse grade.
Very coarse.
Very coarse. Just so it doesn't look so
rough.
Oh, hang on. I'll bring that light up to you. So it doesn't look so sort of feathery, I guess you'd call it. Which kind of makes no sense considering it's kind of a feather, right?
Yeah, very cool. And John, did you get your Raptor scanner working in the end? I was meaning to ask you the other day. Hopefully you did.
It'd be pretty cool to use, but I know that you need a. I know we've got some projects that we want to
scan
a high quality, but I know that it requires a super computer, so I'm not sure if we'd have that kind of juice specced out. Oh yeah, juice in terms of computer funding. Crash says, where are you guys from? We are from New Zealand, specifically in the Bay of Islands, which is at the top.
Which is the place where everybody goes, oh, you should go to New Zealand because the Lord of the Rings. You go, no, the Lord of the Rings is in the South Island. That's not where it's at.
It's the wrong island, bruh.
It's the wrong island. We've never been there. You know, I've seen the movies. You know, that's it as far as I. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But no, it's North Island's where it's at. And if you're ever over this way, yeah, pop in. We could go and fly or something. You know, maybe on Livestream.
Sounds good. Was everybody a fan of the Lord of the Rings? It was quite popular, right? I think we've seen most of them. Yeah, I think we've seen most of them, yeah.
At the moment, we, yeah, well, I guess we're back into a bit of a Lord of the Rings thing. We're looking at the rings.
The rings of power.
At the moment, we, yeah, haven't been looking at Lord of the Rings for years, but at the moment, that's what we're doing.
That and Miami Vice.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah, we were in Auckland not that long ago, or that long ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you used to live there as well.
Good place. A lot more shops up north, down in Auckland, sorry. A lot more shops. I guess we do most of our shopping these days online. To get parts and things like that.
Mostly it seems to be specialised stuff these days.
Does seem to be for these projects.
But yeah, pros and cons like anything. But you know, we do what we do. In terms of Auckland, we used to fly off North Head with our uncle, which is kind of like, I guess you'd call it like kind of like a.
What would you call it?
Kind of like a abandoned military outpost, I guess you'd call it. Yeah.
For World War II. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Johnny says that the laptop he had purchased wasn't fast enough. Oh, that's a shame, man.
That's so good.
Must be a pretty high spec. Has anybody else used a
Scanner.
3D scanner? Does anybody have any experience with that bad boy? Maybe
I mean,
help John out with his one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've done to make, like, say, the wingsuit man or the
jetpack.
Yeah, or the not the big jetpack that you saw earlier. Some of our FPV jetman pack.
FPV RC jetpack. I think it's the title of it. Cool.
Okay, that's really cool. Okay, yeah. Oh, well, that guy with the parachute and.
Oh, cheers, man. He says you can borrow it.
Oh, cheers.
Well, I guess it's you can borrow it if our computer can do it.
Yeah.
But thanks for the suggestion, nonetheless.
Yeah, maybe next time when we're in Auckland or something. And plus, I want to see Wally, and I catch up with her too anyway. So maybe if we're in Auckland one day, if that's okay. Maybe one day.
Nobody likes someone that
self-invite themselves to a party like, gate crash. Oh, I don't want that guy. Anyway,
have you ever been at a party like, say, like a wedding where somebody gate crashed it?
Yeah.
Actually, we've been at multiple weddings actually that people used to gate crash them. They don't really go down too well.
No. There you go. So it's a little motto, a little tip for you there. Don't crash somebody else's wedding. It's their day. It's the bride's day, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Keep her happy. That's the main thing. Happy wife, happy life, they say. And it is a pretty cool day. That's we used to do that. That was one of our jobs years ago. Yeah. Kind of a happy, it's a happy
occasion,
like birthdays. They're always good. UV Kush says, can we get a variable pitch quadcopter project manned, like a VTOL, like WL Toys? V383 electric quadcopter. AI version, please. Nobody's
built a man one.
Write it down.
We'll look it up. We'll write it down and look it up.
Which one?
What's it called? It's called a V38.
A variable pitch version. Interesting.
Yeah, keep the suggestions coming, guys. If it's as they say, if it's good
and crazy,
we want to hear about it.
Good and crazy.
WL Toys.
Maybe that's we were talking about the motto of this show. If it's good and crazy.
Good and crazy and solid foundation. Hey, we want.
Nobody else has done it. We're interested. Where did you write this? We're part of the book.
Just on the back.
On the back page.
Yeah. We want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
Hang on, we'll just change it for you.
Okay, so this.
Can we do that? Can we change it?
Yeah, I think so. So is this what we're talking about? It's the V383. Is this the one?
I think it's that one. That one? No,
not that one.
I always do that. Hang on. I think
is this the guy that we're talking about? The V383? Hopefully it is. It does kind of remind me of something that Australia is doing at the moment. What are they called?
If this is the one.
If this is the correct guy. And I think they are doing it manned, I think. Yeah, thanks very much for joining in, and you're welcome to continue on with the stream over on YouTube. Thanks very much for joining in.
Yeah, what is the company called?
Come over here anytime. Cheers for the invite, but like we say, nobody likes to invite themselves.
But yes, cheers there, Johnny. Next time we're in Auckland or heading that way for some reason, we'll flick you a bell. I know Mike suggested we come and have a look at
his progress
Wally as well. Yeah, I really wanted to see those guys. So yeah.
Is that the right guy? How is that guy? Yes, but human size. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. We'll write it down anyway. So it's the V383.
So is the way that what would autopilot class this is? Would it be
quad? It'd be a quadcopter, a quad plane, sorry.
Yeah, but is it a quad heli? Is that how it would class it?
It's variable pitch, is it?
Variable pitch.
Interesting.
US UV Kush says, can you share the Australian drone, the one that you're talking about?
I have to think of what it is. I don't think it's variable pitch, but it does look, that housing looks similar.
Hang on, we'll just have a look in the background. Hang on. I don't think it's variable pitch. I think autopilot would class it as quad heli is what I think. If it's variable pitch, so that's a mechanical part. I think in the autopilot would, I think it would be classed as.
Do you know where it even be?
Quad heli is what I think it would be. No, under. What would it be under? Speeder or something like that.
Something speeder, right?
Something speeder. Hang on, we'll just bring it up in a second.
If I can find it.
If we can find it. I'm just doing a background search. I know there's a company out there called DCL, which is the Drone Champion League. It's a German or Austrian company. They bought out the first man-sized one. Was it right?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. And they bought out a man-sized one before, what it is like now. Now they're getting into the manned at that scale.
Yeah,
it is, Yeah. Okay, so we'll just flick that screen over for you there. UV Kush. So this is, I know it was in Australia the other day, this particular, is this one, Richard? It's Airspeed or something like that.
Yeah, Airspeed company.
It's the company. But I don't know if it's variable pitch. I think it's just coaxial.
But the housing
actual aesthetic look.
That's what it reminded me
That's
of.
what it reminded me of. Variable pitch at that scale. Interesting.
But yes, definitely manned. I think they're doing. So here they are here. I believe they're doing a.
I think that's the motors T-Motor. I think
Yes,
they
I
are.
think so,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one of our sponsors. Shout out to T-Motor there. I'm pretty sure that the T-Motor motors. T-Motor motors.
T-Motor motors.
T-Motor motors. Yes.
Yeah, drive belt driven.
Yeah. So they are. What did I say? Quad heli. Did I say quad?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Yeah. Did he? I think he did.
I don't know. Well, can we reverse time and see if I said that?
Yeah, so it's called the Air Speeder, and they've got different versions like the Mark III and so forth and so forth. So yeah, so it's all about racing, these guys.
And then if you look up the DCL one that I was talking about,
Oh, what do you mean?
DCL manned.
Oh yeah.
So this was what it all kind of stems from, that look.
DCL
Manned, I think. So at one point in time, they brought this guy out, and they did a forward flip with it, I think. I don't think
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what it all stems from.
Yeah, so these, I think they're first guys. So yeah, so they're also manned as well.
Yeah, but they did a forward flip with this guy, a back flip, I think. But that one wasn't with a person in it. That just had a buster in it. But I think now, that's very cool. Coaxial design as well, I think. Yeah.
Is your you skip? Yeah. So there you go. So there's that's what they sort of reminded me of when you were commenting
Talking
on
about
that.
it. So it's not technically variable pitch now.
I think those are straight coaxial aircraft.
Is this a next project a flying lawn jet? Watch out there, Happy.
Watch out.
As
As long as it looks good, right?
As long as it looks good, yeah. It's fine.
Aesthetically, it looks
Aesthetically.
good and works.
Yeah, maybe start in a cyberpunk theme. Who knows? So we're into cyberpunk at the moment. Everything's cyberpunk. Yeah.
UV Crush says these
Quite inspired by it. What's that?
what
Dystopian?
dystopian
Yeah.
future yeah these are eVTOLs.
Oh yeah.
And each with their own prop motor. Yeah, there you can see them on the screen. Yeah, and the V383 only has one motor that's belt drives the lot. Interesting, having its own variable pitch. Very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Great ideas. Bring them. Yeah, keep them going. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, like Harry said, it goes on the list.
Yeah.
But you are correct that they are individual motors. Yeah.
Actually, that kind of goes back to the debate we were having with on the last episode with the jetpack. I think drone pack. Sorry, got to get the names right. And
You're talking about the episode that came out this week.
yeah, that one. Yeah. And I think somebody was debating the difference there on that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, debating the benefits of a coaxial motor versus like up and down configuration versus a normal one like we've got. We've got a VTOL motors and 4 around us.
Opposed from something that's coaxial, which is push pull roll. Some people thought that that they had because they had vertical motors that are like it's redundant, so you can if one fails then you have a backup. But often that's not the case. You need to have all motors working, otherwise you'll spin out of control and
bad things happen.
So, but yes, that I think
just depends how it's been
just
set up.
depends how it's set up
And the frame.
But often the case, still bad stuff happens regardless of how many propellers you have.
Unless you're getting into things like a deca-hexa. Is it deca-hexa? Deca-hexa. And that's kind of more like there's a company called, I'm not sure the name, but again,
Hang-Glide?
I think it's called Hang-Glide or something like that. And I think they're getting into Amazon deliveries, and they have very small drone motors set up around the frame, which is interesting. Oh, and an H frame as well, as it turns out. Very small ones, so multiple ones along the little motors along the frame, and if one gives out on that, that's fine. But
I think they had it down to like a 3 gave out.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's designed. The frame structure is designed that way. Very good designing. But many years of R&D for sure. Many years. we don't have many years. We've got today. There you go. And a budget probably that would match the moon.
That would not match what these guys have.
No, that's for sure. No. But I guess if we're talking about budget and those sorts of things, you are welcome to sponsor the channel by getting extra content and those sorts of things on our Patreon page.
We'll just go and check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
What do they call that? Like shameless advertising.
No, there you go. But I guess what other benefits? You get extra content that we make exclusive to that, and you also get a badge. There you go.
That's right. You can 3D print it out. We made some custom designs up.
We did, and more designs to come. Different things.
UV Crush has got a new idea. He says robot assembly for a quadcopter drone for Army. Maybe you could build and sell it to the Army, I guess. You can build and sell for.
Having the advantage of living in New Zealand and its population, are you guys into the entrepreneur side? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
sounds good.
If you know somebody, just send us the if you know the contact that you think they might be interested. Yeah, send it there.
Obviously not in this chat, but in another form.
Yeah, in another
like maybe
DM.
Messenger or something. Yeah.
Yeah, is that
Where they slide into the DMs.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what they say.
Slide
into those DMs.
Yes, that's what they say with the.
If you're trying to pick up chicks, that's what they say. Slide into those DMs.
Yeah, as long as she's happy with it, that's the main thing. Happy says shameless.
Shameless when you put your own channel through. Yeah. Yeah. What? Shameless. Shameless.
But yeah, and also it gets going by that. Make sure that you check out Happy's channel, which is very cool. And also, I know John was here before. Make sure you go and check him out. He's mainly on Facebook and in person, so you'll see him with R2.
Which is where we met him from.
Yeah, R2.
R2D2. He's got full size, and he goes around all the hospitals and very cool things like that, and spreads cheer, I guess you'd say, if it was Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Very cool.
And from one of those kids that saw that sort of thing when they were younger.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
Very inspirational stuff.
Yeah, nice. Happy says, if it flies well, sell it to the Army. If it doesn't fly well, sell it to the opposition. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
I know in the New Zealand Army years ago, I did hear about one project that they did. Obviously, I'm not sure about their projects at the moment. I haven't really been up with it. But I guess we've been doing this YouTube channel thing. But I know at one point they did have a person come in and make gas planes, wooden balsa planes that they would use for target practice, and the guy would go out there, fly, and they would practice shooting it down. And he said sometimes they won, but mostly he won. So he'd be out there flying, and they'd be trying to
shoot him down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do that sort of thing anymore.
Yeah, cool. Good stuff, man. Yeah, Happy's got some good stuff there, so yeah, sure. Go and check them out.
Yeah, for sure. But we're coming on with this build, guys. There's a lot less sanding to do. I'm not sure how much I don't know if we'll get to assembly stage on this live stream, but when we do, I suspect probably on the next one. And then we'll be gluing it together, adding a rod. And these fellas,
we'll
be adding one of them to the front of his nose into this guy. Like that.
And marry them up.
Marry them up.
What do you call it? A courtship?
Yep. And we'll be adding, it said, I think a 10-inch prop. We'll find one around the shop somewhere. Surely there must be. Something around here somewhere. And we'll put it in. And then we'll send it. And I think it was a 2 to 3S, I think I read on the box. ESC can take 3 to 4S, but I'm pretty sure the motor can take 2 to 3S. Pretty sure. But we'll worry about the electronic side later on.
Yeah, and you got what? You're going to just do PWMA?
Yeah, we'll go PDM. We'll go old school. This.
All right, so that's all sanded up there, guy.
UV Kush says, have you guys had any UFO experiences yourself up here in Northland? Not so much.
I saw a shooting star once. Does that count?
Yeah, we see satellites. We see Elon Musk go past with all his satellites every night.
All his toys. Yeah, we see that quite There's no sort of what they call like glare or what they call it, light pollution here.
Pollution.
So you can just see the stars all the time.
Which is nice.
Nice. Sometimes we get visitors from other parts of the world and they live in cities.
Oh, like us when we came back.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, it's quiet. Well, it's you can see the stars. It's quite different. But, yeah.
Which is nice.
And Happy says, thanks for the shout out. Oh, well, that's $3.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, mate.
No worries. Fine, yeah, appreciate you guys
doing
doing
no worries. Yeah, cheers. No worries.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Do you guys have a Discord? Yes, we do have a okay, he's refound it. That was fast.
Wow.
Yes, we do have a Discord.
Yes, we just set one up.
Someone, I think it was Marcel said, do a Discord. And then we had to
on this platform, it would be known as Off Axis.
Yeah.
It's got a cool Discord page.
Yeah. So we set that up. We didn't know what Discord was, and now I guess it's kind of operational.
Yeah, it's good.
Early stages maybe, but yeah, it works.
It's mainly we use it for mainly updates and a couple of extra things that only Discord can do.
Yeah, I think we allow it so people can post their pictures or videos or what the building.
Yeah, I think YouTube allows it too on the community page. You can do it on YouTube.
Oh, you can. Yeah,
you can.
I think so. Yeah.
But either way, we appreciate you.
And Happy says, if they had any UFOs, says not so much, but all Harry and Richard neighbours are UFOs when it's a maiden day. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's interesting when that kind of reminded me of when we were about to fly the 3D printed drone, or the I think what we call it, the world's largest 3D printed heavy lift drone. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3D printer that flew on is just behind Richard's head. Hang on, duck. Yeah, that one there. That's the one that's still operational. It is the one that flew on it. Yeah. And what? Carry on.
Yeah. So
there's a bit of back history for you, and then we'll go forward with the story, and then we'll go over to the side, and then carry on.
Anyway, so yeah. So it was an interesting day when we were preparing that one for flight. So yeah, all the neighbours were out in force. So you can see people making excuses like, "Oh, I've just got to cut the like I don't know, so like plants or flowers or something, or hedge." There's no need for them to cut the hedge right then. But yeah, they're all there. So yeah, you can't see them in the shot, but yeah, people are coming around, and
which is cool.
It's just cool.
They know what we do, and they're happy with it. So it's all good.
And we don't.
We abide by the rules there.
We don't fire up the motors and stuff at like 3 in the morning or anything like that.
No.
So, yeah. I think they're pretty happy.
Yeah.
We never had any complaints or anything.
No.
Sometimes we worry about that when we're in the, like, say, doing some like CNC machining or something, because some of them the cutting can go for quite a while, right?
Well, desktop CNC, which we haven't done a live stream on CNC cutting for a while, have we?
Yeah. Would you like to see some more CNC cutting, guys?
Maybe have some projects lined up, perhaps.
Yeah, that could be kind of fun. Would you be able to get the camera in there though? No. Well, I guess you can have it positioned behind the glass.
On this side of the glass. You want to put it on that side. Nothing quite like firing up the CNC and cutting carbon fibre. I'm
happy says like the clip of the neighbours who is running their vacuum cleaner on the yard so they can be noisy. Yeah.
It's kind of funny actually. One of our neighbours said, the other day, he was telling us about something. Apparently we were on live stream at the time with you guys, and he was telling us, and I was like, I don't think I remember telling you that. It's, you did well the other day with this and that, and you're like,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
See, I guess you never know who's watching, right?
Yeah, so,
So always be careful of what you say.
yeah. Big brother, yo, big brother. No, that's cool. No, it's all good.
I guess sometimes you see, we bump into people as well in the street, because it's a small town, right? So they sort of all know what we do.
Yeah.
You'll see us go past in our like a one wheel, and like when we're doing like our outside flights, which we haven't done for a little while. We should do that. Once that guy's up and running, we'll endeavour to head back out into the
open world
and do some outdoor flying. That could be fun.
Yeah, I think that's where we saw Happy. Is that where we first saw Happy on Livestream?
Yeah, I think we're in Kirikiri. I think as we tuned into our first live stream.
Not sure. Either way, thanks so much for tuning in.
We need a shop tour.
Shop tour, can we do it?
That helps channel growth, does it?
I could turn the
in
camera.
what way would it help?
It's just see some tools.
It says love your neighbours. Well, you do gotta love. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, wise man.
That's right.
Very true words.
Hmm.
What do they say? Like you can choose your friends, but you can't
choose your neighbours.
No, not choose your neighbours. You can't choose the people you're related to.
Yeah, but that's a different quote.
It's not really relevant.
I guess we can turn the camera. I can lift that camera up for a second. I can just hold that camera for a second.
This one?
Yeah.
I guess it means we get to stand up. That's good.
Yeah, you get to stand up. Have some water, perhaps. But anyway, Rich, we'll just grab the camera a second. For this workshop, we can turn the camera around a little bit.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll just flip over so you can see.
Hang on. We've got it coiled around that for some reason.
I do?
Yeah. Hang on.
Just we'll only show you the stuff that we can show you. There's other stuff in the background that we can't show you because there's like different projects that we can't show you just yet.
Oh, can you pass the light?
Oh, yeah, sure. And that would be kind of wrecking the surprise, so we won't be doing that. But we'll show you what we can show you. And the other stuff will be a secret until we can reveal it together. So what we're talking about was the... There. So what we can tell you is, I don't think most people on Livestream would have seen this part of the shop. This is a CNC machine that we don't get out as much. But he is cool when he's running, but very loud. And he is Jimitsu CNC desktop machine, 318?
Yeah.
3018, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, 3018 Pro, yeah.
And yeah, you can see some of our, we cut carbon fiber with this guy, wood, but mainly carbon fiber like drone parts and those sorts of things. An interesting machine, works kind of like a Dremel, but you do all your work on CAD software. And
we use like Fusion 360, right?
We do for this particular guy, and that's the way we have our Fusion 360 made up. We do manufacturing, that kind of thing. And then beside him, we have our K1, which he was just running today. And we always run our 3D printers these days through a dryer of some sort.
Which is that gun side.
Yeah. And then if you turn to the right, we've got our K2, which is this guy here. Well, the clarity is a lot better now. K2 Plus. This is the guy that we printed the 3D printed drone on. So
that was using PPA-CF carbon fiber filament.
Yeah, it was when we made that guy. When we made this that 3D printed drone, nobody had ever tested the material at that kind of scale before. So we pushed this machine past its threshold. So manufacturer's threshold to do this.
Yeah, so it's 350 by 350 build plate, and the PPA-CF can only do 300 by 300. And we pushed it way past that.
Yeah. So that was interesting. A lot of hours watching that print go down.
Yeah, was that a 48-hour print for one plate?
Yeah, and then there was like two of them, and then all sorts of stuff on top.
And you can't link it through the CFS at the top, which
definitely is not for that sort of thing. And there's a CFS on top. If you're using a Bamboo Lads, you might call it an AMS. It's just a marketing difference. Not really much different. It's just same kind of thing.
Color, that kind of thing.
Color, and he'll be writing a new print soon. We just have to go and design it. And this is the guy that we flew. Was there incredibly high.
So he actually flew quite a lot, didn't he?
He did.
Like maybe 20 times, hovering?
Oh, yeah, maybe more, I'm not sure. It's one of those things to get the shot, to get the actual...
Different formats.
Yeah, it's different, yeah. Many times. even more than you'd think. Happy says if they show us everything, we would get a knock at the door from men in trench coats, the MIBs, right? And then that's pretty much us. And then there's just our normal bench stuff. And if you look above you, Richard, oh yeah, inside that box is the inside that box there's the K1, our original 3D printer. If you look above you, you can see the dual operator
Cine lifter that we made.
Cine lifter. I think we did mention it on one of the live streams. And then yeah, above him is the operator that runs the camera, and that is custom CNC machine work right there. 3mm plate that we cut on that desktop machine.
Yeah,
also 6mm. I think 3mm.
I'm not sure. Anyway, so there you go. There's
a short tour, and then there's just our normal bench work stuff that is always cool. But yeah, this is just this workshop. There's we work in other spots to do different things. We like to move around a bit. Yeah, like you, for instance, you want to do your computer work beside your angle grinder, man. No. So yeah, but yeah,
it's just a functional space.
Yeah. But yeah,
you don't want to blow your own trumpet too much.
No, absolutely not. And there's always one of those things where there's always something else that you go, oh, that would be quite cool. And
like
of course,
I know earlier in the stream we were talking about welders. Right.
Yeah. And that is something that we will be definitely be looking at shortly. So if anybody's got a welder out there that can do a 3-in-1 with a TIG and a MIG and a thing, and it doesn't want any more, that can work on a...
Call us on 0800.
yeah. But there you go. So, it's like one of those things, it's nice to get other people to do the work, but I would prefer doing the work on these projects ourselves.
Yeah. What's the website you could search for properties? Properties? You mean like material properties?
You mean mechanical properties?
Not sure what you mean there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But yes, that is kind of some of our workshop. Yeah. Okay, so sanding wise is coming along. I'll just grab some water for a second.
Oh, okay. Like they say, if you blow your own horn, your battery will go flat. Yeah, fair enough. Ironically, it doesn't actually take very long for a car to go flat when it's just on a 12-volt battery supply.
Not too much, no.
Right?
No. But anyway, so we're getting there with the sanding process. I think we'll have to leave it for assembly on the next one, I think.
But at least it would be all prepped and ready to go.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more sanding to do on this one. And then there'll be a little bit of cutting and whatnot, but shaping, I guess you'd say, on the next one. But we'll be looking at assembly, I think. Don't you reckon, Richard?
On the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
On the next,
but of course,
of this series, we might be doing the subskim.
But of course, we're doing the subskim, and then hopefully,
that one's done.
All going well, we'll be doing some out and about flights.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Just
mix things
up.
Keep things interesting. Be spontaneous. That's what it's all about.
Got that. Like your girlfriend always says.
What's that?
Be spontaneous. Mix it up.
But anyway, what do you reckon? How are we getting on anyway?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. How are you doing with this?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Just a last minute quick sand on this fella.
Yeah.
And then I guess what we'll do is after this we'll jump and carry on. Are we up to editing, or are we still working on it?
Still working on it. We're going to test it.
Got to test it for the next plug-in, which is the main thing, right?
The next episode, yeah.
Yeah, that's the part where you plug it in. You never know what's going to happen. You can test it, but once you actually do it, it's... Where's that?
Abby says that she was eager to design and build and grow your channel. That's all power. Cheers, man.
That's nice.
Or married or single or a girlfriend.
Or maybe it's a top secret.
I guess you could say we are both single, and what they say is ready to mingle.
There you go.
So if you know someone out there,
currently, I guess.
Currently.
But there you go.
You think they're a good fit? Call 0800.
Yeah. But it's one of those.
A sister, perhaps.
What do you mean?
They might know a sister.
Oh,
or a
I
friend.
see. There you go.
Or a work
Phone a friend. It's like
friend.
It's like that.
You set yourself up on 0800.
It's like a TV show, right?
Yeah. Or something like The Bachelor where you get a ring.
You got a rose, eh?
No, a rose, yeah, sorry. Rose.
Come on, Richard. Come on. Focus. But apparently they don't share that in New Zealand anymore. That's...
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think so. Who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't in their right mind?
But we're making good progress. I'm working on the hatch at the moment, if you wanted to know, and it's just
Working on a wing.
so yeah, it's just might be a tiny bit more sanding on the next stream before we go into the attaching it together, but it's pretty good. It's very cool. Looking forward to seeing this one in the air. It'll be good.
Yeah. Should I add in the newspaper looking for a wife? Must like to fish and have a boat. Send a picture of the boat. Very cool. That's hilarious. I'm not sure if that would go down well though. Yeah. I mean, I can see where he's coming from, right? Well, like, I know there was a TV, I know we were talking about The Bachelor earlier. There was a TV program called, like, Farmer Wants a Wife.
It was an Australian show.
It might have been an Australian TV.
Never saw it.
Same sort of reality TV show, and I'm not sure if we watched any of it, but that was the kind of things, like, it's what they always say around, what we always joke about is, like what a farmer wants for a wife.
But it's just one of those things.
It's not very PC, but they...
No, it's just one of those things where they were successful, weren't they?
Yeah.
I hope
they
right.
were. I think they did. But they always sort of assess the girl, like they assess their animals. But yeah, it's fine. But it all works, right?
Yeah, if they're happy at the end, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. So that is a cool layout anyway. Send a picture of the boat. Wonder if he was looking for a sailboat.
No, it must be a fizz boat.
Fizz boat, that. Gotta have a good laugh, yeah. Well, I guess in his case, he's gotta have his priorities up right. Got to have the boat first.
Yeah. Now that's something that a lightweight filament does. If you can see it in the top line, it has a tendency to be very light because it is a foaming agent. So we'll have to go back through maybe, or it might be covered when we do the painting. It's just one of those things where it does it. especially on very thin layers like this one is, where it will kind of miss sometimes. Happy says my wife actually likes RC and she flies sometimes. Epic.
Yeah,
So every
cool,
time
man.
I come home with a new plane, I say it's for her. It's nice. Very cool.
Kind of reminds us a bit of kind of reminds me a bit of Granny used to say that about the cars. Like if you bought a new car or whatever it was, they'd say that's it's not his car. That's her car.
Well,
In the same sort of manner. And UV Crush suggests possibly some flowers too. Wow, there you go.
there you go.
Now you're thinking ahead. But isn't flowers for something normally that you've done something wrong? Unless, of course, I think Valentine's Day is coming up.
That's what I heard. So, florist.
You guys got anything planned for that? Are you going to do
something special?
Something special? You get some flowers, or I guess you can't write it because then the watch, and then that kind of defeats the whole purpose. But I guess you could say if you've got an idea,
go with it.
Go with that.
All right. What do you reckon, Jen? Is that pretty good on that cut? What do you reckon? Are we good on that feather?
Yeah, I think so. Just finishing off here.
All right. So on the next, on the next stream we will be. There's a little bit to do on the front here. We need to do.
What do you have to do on it?
Just got to alter it a little bit, and I think we will be going for assembly. So that's what's coming up on this series. Yeah, on this live stream.
Live stream series.
Yeah, nice. Flowers is where it's at. Nice.
Flowers.
I'll move that camera over to the other one, actually. What do you reckon?
Okay. I could do it.
You want to do it? Oh, you finished on that one?
Yeah, it's all.
Okay. So make some good headway, guys. And if you missed the intro when we bought the drone pack out, make sure you go back and check that out. It's where it's at. And that was the episode this week. Make sure you go and check out the episode as well. If you haven't seen that project and the first episode on that one, this is the second part.
Right.
Loves is the 14th over there. Okay, so that is tomorrow for us. Do you have some special plans? Nice. And it's very cool that she puts up on. Yes. Double thumbs up there. And you're all good?
I just put this
Which is just readjusting the camera work and everything. But yes, I think we made some quite good progress so far on this stream. And yeah.
And all going well. Hopefully the episode is underway, I guess you'd say.
Yeah,
able to be published or published,
ready.
I guess the right word, on Tuesday. All going well. So stand by
for the post, community post.
The community post to reveal if it is
ready
on the Tuesday. Fingers crossed it is.
Yep. Okay, so we'll jump over to the other stream. Thanks so much from us. And we'll
Screen.
What did I say?
Stream.
Oh, I mean the other screen. So we're going to do that.
And we'll sign out.
We'll do a sign out. Thanks again. And we'll do that. I think we made some pretty good progress today.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
All right. All right, we'll do our traditional sign out.
Traditional.
Very traditional.
All right.
We got lights, camera, yep, we're all good.
Okay, well, thanks very much from us. This has been a great live stream. We have managed to, prepare, sand, the left wings and the main fuselage. So it's all prepped, ready to go for the next installment, I guess. What would be the next part?
I think we're going to go for start putting the spar in. We have to...
And possibly the wiring looms in terms of allowing for them. Yeah, I think so. And maybe sort of position it out, and we've also got to start the assembly effectively because it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So yeah, we'll have to go and check our notes and things like that to see what the next step would be. But that's what I think off the top of my head.
I think that's probably
assembly.
Assembly, put the spar in, that's the main one, and put wire looms in if need be, etc., etc.
That's right.
Because you won't be able to do it afterwards once it's all together.
It's kind of like a one-shot deal. Sometimes what we do is we leave some string effectively inside the wing, so you can.
But you'll be seeing all that coming up on the stream series. Yes.
Stream series, and also the other live stream that we've been doing currently is the RC Subskimmer, which is half boat, half submarine, and we're just on the final hurdle for that install of the outboard.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Well, it'll probably be the next stream, probably. Maybe.
Quite possibly, then ideally, all going well, we'll jump into the world of a water trial, and ideally, all going well, we'll do some flights coming up.
So stay tuned for all those streams coming up.
And what about the main episode this week?
The drone pack, yeah, so if you haven't seen that, very cool to get into that cyberpunk-inspired machine. And stay tuned on the community board thing for updates on the episode coming out next week.
That's right, yeah.
Hopefully,
so
it's all good.
Remember to add your comments to the last episode as well. It helps YouTube decide where to put it.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't know that much until you tell it.
Yeah,
apparently.
It's kind of a bit simple.
That way, yes. But give this video also the thumbs up. And thanks very much from me.
And thanks very much from me. So we'll sign out on this one. Thanks very much to all our sponsors. Thank you, most importantly of all, for tuning in. And we'll sign out in 3, 2, 1, go! H&R Drone Racing, H&R Drone Racing, H&R Drone Racing, yeah!
Happy to see this great stream. Thanks, dude. See you on the next one.